Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Levites TV Musicians Show. My name is F Sharp and I'm really privileged and glad to have this amazing person. His name is Mirobed David. He's an amazing singer. He is everything all in one. You hear him, don't worry, just wait till the end of the show. It's really good to have you, sir.
Good to have you.
Welcome, sir. So how does it feel to be a musician, the pro musician that you are?
Okay. Actually, it really feels good to be a musician.
Okay.
It feels really good to be able to create music and reach out to people using music as a medium.
Okay, so in your next life, would you be a musician again?
I'll always pick music.
Amen. Amen.
But this time around, I'll come from David's family.
Where would you? Okay, let me not say anything.
David's family.
It's nice. So we're talking about growth.
Okay.
Yeah, growth. And I think it's one of the very basic things every musician should have at the back of their mind. You know, I mean everything about music. Of course, you start from the intro to the verse, and the end has to, peak before it comes down again. I think life is like that. Every musician has to go. So, what do you say growth is?
Okay. Growth. I would define growth as a conscious effort to change status.
Conscious effort.
Yes, a conscious effort to change your status because you can't say you're growing if you're still doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's we can't see any form of growth in that. It has to be something deliberate. Okay, let me add in that one a deliberate conscious effort to
Deliberate
change.
conscious effort. Okay. So all through these years of your musicianship, have you grown?
Man, I would say that I have grown, and I also add that I have. Let me say relaxed. And the reason I would explain the relaxation though. And when I started singing, I was caught up in the understanding of all the riffs and runs and as part of music. As a matter of fact, sometime in this town, I was a lot of riffs and runs.
I can imagine.
From beginning to the end of my singing, don't worry, I sing. I will just be with you.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then a lot of people had issues with it,
Yeah.
but I didn't know that it was an issue for people because some of them wouldn't say it to you. They would go behind and say that one make noise until somebody came to me and said it's a growing process. You tend to do everything that you've learned, and so I wouldn't criticize it, but now say you have to know when to do it, so it doesn't become noise and you end up not being a blessing to the people. So it made sense to me, and I started working on it slowly, and then it's getting better. So when I use the word relaxed, I used to do very complicated music.
Okay.
Extremely complicated music. No, it's not that simple, but it's reduced.
Okay.
Because
not
I don't like normal music.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like normal music. I don't understand why we'll be singing do mi so to.
Okay.
That's
Very
right.
fun, yeah. So you talked about someone walking up to you and telling you this stuff. Okay, that just brought to my mind comparison. So what if the person compared you to someone else? How would you have felt instead of telling you what he said?
It's a two-way answer.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about comparison. It has a way of demoralizing you.
Okay.
But for someone like me, I'm not doing music because I just feel like doing music.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, there's a passion for it. The passion defined the purpose. So no matter what you say to me, you can't take me out of it. These two things guide me. Yeah, so whatever you say. As a matter of fact, I grew quickly the way I grew in music because a lot of people stood against it. So I had to prove to myself that these folks, now human beings and beings, of course, you can't determine. So before you know it, I was singing that level of singing. I was doing this level of harmony. I just need to prove to myself that I'm not what they say I'm musical.
Such willing to say to prove to them, but that's really good tip.
It's not to them, it's me.
So, nice. So everyone that is watching us, you've heard that you have to first about yourself. I think many people they've said these things over and over again. You need to start with yourself first.
Yeah.
You need to be satisfied first of all, not trying to quote away what people would say or what the concerns you get, but first of all, it has to be about you. Okay, so basically for me, I think growing is all around. For instance, like a tree planted by the rivers of water, it doesn't just go straight. It has other branches, right? And I want to tag those branches like your marriage, your relationship, your money, your finances, your other. First of all, is it bad for a musician to go into some other stuff about music?
Okay. It's not a bad thing. Let me use me as an example. I financially I am where I am today because I didn't realize early that music has a lot to take in. Okay, so currently there's a guy called Omale, and he's everywhere doing beautiful music. And I heard how much was pumped into him. I could say it because I know 90 million
Amazing.
was pumped into pushing it. And the messaging what that you all know for more than 100 million. Crazy cash, man, was pumped into music. And so let me stay on the Omale that I know. So 90 million was pumped into this music, and he got 20 million streams.
Wow.
90 million, 20 million. They're not be mates now. But you see, this is me trying to say there's so much of let me use the word capital that you need to push music. And a lot of us think that because we've heard other singers say, I've been singing for all these years, and then finally it popped up, it became big and something. So you wouldn't want to do any other thing and want to keep all your survival to strictly music. And if God doesn't help you, you die and leave the music. Yeah, so at this point, as I'm talking to you as someone that is now doing everything. I the sell house. I the rent house give you like if I'm into real estate. Right now, guy, anything I sell anything. And okay, I was talking to someone this morning and then she wants to start a business and I'm like, I will help you and sell it.
I think that's really thoughtful to go into all this stuff.
Nah.
It's really good. I feel for other. I'm actually a firm believer of just doing music like that. But I think over the course of 2 years or so, I've had to learn these things by myself. That music pays well, but you have to, apart from getting to explore your music by
pays
going
at its own time.
at its own time.
Yeah.
So apart from going to that peak and making it, you also have to expand. Your life. I mean, many musicians on stage are so good, but the flip side of their life, money, relationship, family, God.
Okay. The stage is the spotlight, and in the spotlight, we wouldn't want you to see the bad side. So right there, the best A game we can bring on, we will bring it on. Once we leave there, and purpose it has a lot to do with balancing this because purpose will let you understand how to make every aspect of your life a spotlight. So the consciousness of knowing that away from stage, I'm someone else. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, and then I wouldn't always have to relate as if I'm on stage with a brother or a family member, and these things has a lot to do with purpose too. But the financial part, like you were talking about, it still has to boil down to, let me say, definition of focus. The time, focus. Yeah, focus the time will help you achieve all these things together.
Nice. You said one thing, and trying to think about it. Purpose. It helps you put every other aspect of your life in spotlight. That's strong. To wrap this off, how do you balance God, music, and career together?
Oh wow. God, music, career.
Yeah, music with your career. How do you put everything together?
Okay, so at this point, I would love to say it this way: God comes first.
Okay.
And the reason I'm putting God first is because for we who believe in God and His power and how He works, you can't live your life without direction. Family, career, finances, everything. They will just be things that are just spacing around if there's no direction to it. So God has to be number one. Develop a personal relationship with Him away from what your pastor says on stage, and then be your own pastor for yourself. So whatever you've preached to yourself, when your pastor comes, he agrees with what you already know. But if you're not pastoring yourself, your pastor comes and Whatever He says, you take. And you live life that way. And if you keep living life that way, my brother, come out. So God has to come first, and He gives direction to every aspect.
Nice, amazing. I'm blown away, and I want you to think about struggles, talk about balancing every area of your life, putting every area of your life into the spotlight. You don't leave one and let the other one go behind. Yeah, we're so glad to have you today. Thank you very much. So before we go, he's going to give us 1 minute of that stuff, that Mirobed stuff.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm so happy. So I almost let go. I was right at the edge of a breakthrough, but I couldn't see it. And I can tell you why. See, depression weighed me down, and so many things try to struggle my mind. But God held me closer, so I'll never let go. God's mercies kept me, I'll never let go. So I am here today because God kept me. See, I'm alive today only because of His mercy and His grace. Oh, He kept me. God kept me. Oh, He kept me, yeah. And God kept me through every storm of my life. Oh, Jesus never let me go down. I know that God kept me. I'm glad that He did it for me. Thank you, Jesus. Ooh, now, I won't let go.